Meanwhile, in Paris, France, at the Good Charm Hotel in Vanessa's room, Vanessa and Owen are talking, just as Owen's room phone rings. And he went and got it. Hello? I should be asking you that. Okay. Alright. I gather my stuff and be down in an hour. Alright. And as Owen hung up, just as Vanessa came to where he is. That was my parents. And as he turned and faced her, they want you gone from here. Yeah, and you're coming with me. Yeah, I don't think that's a good idea. I don't care what my parents or anyone says about you or and I admire that. It's just some of your family may not be so keen of the idea of us being together. Meanwhile, in Claire and Greg's room, Claire, Greg, and Miles are talking. You know, I'm just wondering to why you're giving us this information so freely. Aren't you two lot cops? We are. Unfortunately, I don't know if we can assist in this, seeing that it's not in our jurisdiction. Why? Just because we're in a different country? Now I know you have your ways about that. Suddenly, someone is knocking on their door. Excuse me. And as Greg went and arrived and got the door, and it's a familiar woman who saw Miles, who also saw her. There you are. You have any idea of how worried sick I was? Or you just don't give a damn for the matter? Excuse me. And as Claire came to where they are. Do you know him? And do I know you? First off, lady, I'm Tina's twin, Jessica, as in Jessica Carter. And second, that lad you have in your room happens to be my son. Meanwhile, in a common room, Angela, Isabella, Vince, and Sean are talking. Look, you lot can go home, but I'm staying enjoying the rest of me holiday before we have to start school again. I'm with Angela. Besides, our parents are not even here for the matter. My dad said they're at Dryden Park. Oh, that makes sense, since Ricky's death and all. They were there prior to that. I wonder why is that? So Sean, you leaving as well? Yeah. Me parents don't want me here due to the situation that's been going on. Well, perhaps we can change that. And as Courtney and Damien came to where they are, and Angela, Isabella, Vince, and Sean saw. Oh my God! And as Angela went and hugged Damien, who did the same, resulting in them hugging each other. Meanwhile, unbeknownst to Isabella, Angela, Courtney, Damien, Vince, and Sean, the mysterious woman who's been watching them decided to turn and walk away. Walking past Cole, who noticed. Oi, and as Cole went to where the mysterious lady is and faced her. Wait a sec. Why do I know you from somewhere? Meanwhile, in the outskirts of London, England, inside the Dryden Park Academy, Taylor came down the stairs to the floor it is. And arrived and saw Kyle looking at the portrait and went to where he is. Great masterpiece, yeah? Yeah. You can almost tell the extent details of it. Exactly. Kyle McKinley, and as he turned and looked at her, and she did the same. Taylor Osborne. And before you ask, I already know. Meanwhile, in Mrs. Drake's classroom, Miss Drake is speaking before the class. We will be postponing term for the day for a send-off ceremony in regards to Ricky Graham, so I ask for you lot for privacy for his family and friends. That includes Oliver, Joshua, Eric, Phoebe, and Wilma, so they can mourn his untimely death. Is that clear, everyone? And as everyone said, yes, Miss Drake. And as Miss Drake looked and saw Phoebe there. Phoebe, dear, you don't have to be in as Phoebe noticed. It's fine, Miss Drake. I'll get by with my mates here. We keep her safe. Thank you, Mr. Dawson. Now, talk amongst yourselves while I go talk to my upper class. And as Miss Drake in turn went and left the classroom. Meanwhile, outside in the front area, Lucy and Eric came out of school. And as they turned and faced each other, and as Eric sensed something wrong with Lucy. What's wrong? I have a strong hunch that danger is coming for us. You're obviously worried about what happened to my cousin. It's more than that. Look, I may be 14, but I'm not naive at all. Something tells me deep down you know what I'm talking about is true. Okay, say I buy into this. What possible threat that we even have to worry about? Something that is gonna change everything. I know how it sounds, but I'm telling you, there are dangerous forces all around here. Meanwhile, in the woods, something is watching Lucy and Eric talking in front of the school. Meanwhile, in Paris, French, at the Good Chum Hotel in Claire and Greg's room, Claire, Greg, Jessica, and Miles are talking. Miles is your son? What, did you hear an echo or something? You'll have to excuse my wife and I. No, I won't. Let's go, Miles. We're supposed to be heading back. Actually, we need a statement from him regarding what he saw. Then I suggest you call our solicitor, otherwise, we're done here. Sorry, madam. We're not suggesting it. Now, unless you want to be arrested for perverting the cause of justice, dude, this is in your jurisdiction, so back off. And as Jessica and Miles went and left the room, followed by Greg. Let them go, Greg. And as Greg stopped, just as the door closed, and as he turned and faced his wife. Meanwhile, in a common room, as Angela, Isabella, Vince, and Sean are surprised by Courtney and Damon's arrival, while Angela and Damon are in a hug, just as Sean came to where Courtney is. Before you ask, our parents insist that we see you from the start of the year, plus we use a private jet from a mate. I'm just so happy to see you. And as Sean began kissing Courtney, who returned the favor, resulting in them kissing each other, while Angela and Damon, who are in the midst of a hug, pull away and also begin kissing each other, while Isabella and Vince are watching. Quite the reunion we got going on here. I see. Why don't we leave them be? I have to gather some stuff. Okay, I have something I need to take care of. And as Isabel and Vince both went and walked away separately. Meanwhile, in Vanessa's room, Vanessa and Owen are talking. They're just gonna have to get over it. You are the love of my life, and I'll be damned to lose that. Suddenly, someone knocked on the door. And as Vanessa went and got the door, and it's a couple who she knows. What's wrong, love? Yeah, you look like you've seen a ghost or something. Mom? Dad? What are you doing here? That is a good question, and as Owen came to where Vanessa is, and as they both face Mimi and Frank. Excuse me, this is a family matter, so can you just give us a minute for our daughter? No. Whatever you need to say, you can say in front of him. Meanwhile, in another room, the mysterious woman came in and closed the door. And as she went to the desk and put down her purse and opened it and took out several folds and went and laid them on her table. which is pictures of Courtney, Damon, Angela, Sean, Isabella, and Vince. Meanwhile, in the outskirts of London, England, inside the Dryden Park Academy in the hallway, Taylor and Kyle are walking down the hall talking. Wow, a twin! Who would have thought? Yeah. And as they stop and turn and face each other, you must have to compete against him for girls for a long while. Actually, I don't have to. Ooh, competence. That's quite impressive. How do I not know you? Because it seems like we've known each other for a long time. Funny, because I feel the same way about you. Question of the matter is, what do we do about it? Meanwhile, Miss Drake came out of the bathroom just as Doug and a new heavyset young man saw. Ah, Faith, just the woman I was looking for. And as they came to where she is, just as she locked the door, and as she turned and faced him, we have one more applicant. I want him with year 2. Sir, we've never done that before, except this is one of them. Find a student that can show him around. I'll talk to your 4th years. Yes, headmaster. And as Doug went and walked away, while Faith turned and faced the young man. So, do you have a name? Meanwhile, Mrs. Drake's classroom, students are talking amongst each other. Let's get to Phoebe, Cindy, Matt, Aaron, Brody, and Julian, who are talking. Thank you. You lot are really true friends. That's what we're here for. And we're not going anywhere. I reckon your parents are gonna be here real soon. So, you ready for that card game? Prepare to get crushed. You're on. And as Julian began preparing the cards. Meanwhile, in the chemistry laboratory, year 4 are talking. Let's get to Oliver, Joshua, and 2 women who are talking. Ricky was a legend around here, just like you 2. You're not saying that because you're Grams. No, that's exactly how we see it. Amy, Paige, you 2 are gonna go far. Trust me. Paige and I know all, and we mean all. Alright everybody, and as Doug came in the room, and everyone saw him just as he headed to the front and faced the students who all went and took their respected spots. Now I'm sure you lot are aware of what happened, so why don't we begin? Oliver, Joshua, and as Doug looked at them who saw, you lot have our deepest condolence. Oh yeah? And as Tobias came in, tell me, headmaster, or better yet, why don't you inform the truth to why it happened? And as everyone saw Tobias along with Doug. Meanwhile, outside in the front area, Lucy and Eric are talking. Look, I get it. You're clearly on edge. You don't believe me. You think I'm mad. Wrong. Eric, I'm telling you, this place feels different than last time. As if there's some sort of dark presence lurking about. Do you hear yourself on how insanely bonkers you sound right now? Gosh, I was insane, but I'm not. Okay, I believe you. And I assure you, as long as I'm here, nobody is going to harm you. Meanwhile, something that's in the woods is still watching Lucy and Eric. Meanwhile, in Paris, France, outside the Good Charm Hotel, Miles and Jessica head towards her car. And as they arrive, with Jessica went and blocked Miles. Nice color. You wanna explain to me what the hell you're playing at? How did you find me here? We'll talk more when we get back to school. And let me make this clear. You are in some major trouble and not the good kind. Got it. Get in. And as Jessica went around the car and opened her doors and got in along with Miles. Meanwhile, inside in Claire and Greg's room, Claire and Greg are talking. So, what do we do about what Miles?
We can't without his statement. Not that it matters since we can't interfere.
Basically, we have no leads to who did it.
Why don't we just gather Sean, Rachel, Gwen, and Jan and get out of here?
Wait, don't you want to enjoy Paris?
Look, I do. But I feel we'd be more useful at home trying to figure out who killed Ricky.
Meanwhile, in Isabella's room, Isabella's finished packing her suitcase. Just as Vince came in, and Isabella turned and saw him.
You finish?
And as Vince closed the door, I haven't even started. Besides, the jet won't be here for a couple hours due to the feuds and the maintenance.
You know what? You're right.
And as Isabella got her suitcase and went and put it by the closet and came to where Vince is. You and I do have some time to steal before we go home.
I have a suggestion. Say we're on a honeymoon right now. What would you do?
Well, for starters, I'll do, and as Vince began kissing Isabella, which she returned the favor, resulting in them kissing each other. Till Vince pulled back.
What?
You really think we should go any further?
You mean what I think you mean, then let's go.
And as they continue kissing each other, with Vince leading Isabella towards her bed. Meanwhile, in a common room, Angela, Damon, Courtney, and Sean are all still in a kiss. Till they both pull away and notice Isabella and Vince aren't there. Where did Isabella and Vince go?
Probably to their rooms.
They didn't want to see this reunion.
Why don't we do the same?
I wish I can, but my parents want me to go back to New York.
Not this very second. Come.
And as Angela, Damon, Courtney, and Sean all went, I left the common area heading towards the elevator. Meanwhile, in Vanessa's room, Mimi, Frank, Vanessa, and Owen are talking. First of all, our condolence on your brother Ricky. He was a good man. You keep my brother's name out of your mouth. Got it?
Why are you here? Your father and I could ask you this very same thing, seeing you're supposed to be in Brooklyn at our place, no?
I invited her to come with my family. Seems you two are united and strong. Not for long.
Honey, leave them be. You know your way back home, and you better be there when your father and I arrive, or else.
And as Mimi and Frank turned and went and left Vanessa's room, just as Vanessa went and closed the door and turned and faced Owen. Meanwhile, in the mysterious woman's room, the woman is still looking at the photos of Isabella, Vince, Angela, Damon, Courtney, and Sean. Meanwhile, in the outskirts of London, England, inside the Dryden Park Academy in the hallway, Taylor and Kyle look at each other before slowly leaning in and begin kissing each other. And as they pull away and face each other,
I don't know why, but being with you just feels right.
I couldn't agree more. Why don't we take this to my room?
Okay, right after this.
And as they continue kissing each other, unaware, around the corner, an arrow bow with someone holding it came out, aiming the arrow directly at Taylor as her and Kyle continue kissing each other. Meanwhile, in Miss Drake's classroom, students are talking amongst each other. Let's get to Cindy, Phoebe, Matt, Aaron, Julian, and Brody who are talking, and as Phoebe is reshuffling the deck.
You know, if I didn't know any better, I say you lot let us win this wrong. We were so close to defeating you. But close isn't cutting it. Now it's bros. Settle down, everyone. And as Miss Drake and the new student came in, and everyone saw, just as they arrived, and as she and the new student turned and faced the class.
Looks like we got a new student.
I'll say. Meanwhile, in the chemistry lab, as Year 4 students and Doug are surprised by Tobias' arrival. Have you completely lost the plot? I haven't lost anything, Headmaster. We deserve to know what happened to our fellow student, dude! And as Oliver got up and faced Tobias, he was my brother and his cousin. Ricky was also family to all of us. Tobias, my office. Now, I'm not going anywhere. You know more than you letting on. Mate, back off! And as Joshua also got up. Oh, what? And as Joshua stormed to where Tobias is and got in front of him. I see. You really want to do this right now. Meanwhile, outside in the front area, Lucy and Eric are talking. Thank you. I needed that.
No problem. Look, whatever dark forces that's around here, we can defeat it in the end.
I really hope so.
Hey, no doubts, yeah?
You really are a good lad.
I try to be.
Suddenly, something that's in the woods that's been watching them makes a noise. Hold on. Did you hear that?
Hear what? Look, don't stress out. It was probably a squirrel or something.
Yeah, you're right. Let's head back inside.
And as Lucy and Eric both went inside the academy, unaware that in the woods across from them, something that's been looking at them glare an evil red eye.